Really, the war machine is software. It's us. It's people. And it's take a group of young men, put them on the side of a mountain, and they will kill and be killed for each other. And we try to, I think, dehumanize that, or dehumanize them, or show images of Apaches because we really want to sanitize war. But at the heart of it, war cannot be sanitized. It's about killing and being killed, and it does things to young men's, the chemical processes in their brain. It affects them in ways that we need to really understand and reconcile ourselves with, because ultimately they're going out there with our blessing. They volunteer for it. I mean, everybody in that film volunteered to be, who was in the film volunteered to be in the airborne. In fact, they wanted to be in the airborne. They wanted to see combat. They could easily change tires on Humvees. They didn't. They trained hard to be in their position in the military, and they wanted to go out there, and they wanted to fight, and they just didn't want to die in doing so. But they're young men, and they're never ready for the emotional fallout that happens, and they've done that with our blessing. And so, again, we wanted people to kind of bring people as close as possible to that experience so they could digest it and understand it. So when they come home, these men come home, we have some idea what they went through. The footage from Restrepo was taken by a soldier. It was before deployment, and it was a couple of the minutes that was added to the film that we added. And we just thought that it would make a great kind of bookend to the film, that you see these kids on the train, so innocent, and then they go off to war, and then you see them again at the end, not having understood what's happened. But we called the film Restrepo for a number of different reasons. We called it after Juan Restrepo, the medic. Interesting enough, Juan was Colombian born in Colombia, naturalized in America, died on the hillside in Afghanistan for this country. Kind of interesting once this immigration debate rages, just to bear that in mind. And but we called it up not just after him, because then in the film they go off and they name the outpost after him. And so we called it after, and the outpost was called Restrepo, Outpost Restrepo. So we named the film after that, where most of the film is shot. So really, he dies very early on in the film, and he actually died in July 7th.
So you and Sebastian land when, and you...
Well, Sebastian Sebastian first landed in May without me. Met Restrepo, and then came out. And then by the time I went back, he was already dead. So I never met him personally. But we also called the film Restrepo because we felt that this idea that the name was somehow emblematic. It was kind of, you ask, well, what does it mean? And really it becomes emblematic, a kind of metaphor for every soldier and the sense of loss that every soldier goes through. And interesting enough is we've done these screenings, and it's like the veterans, Sebastian saying, this community is like a parallel universe. But it also, I think the film speaks to other generations of men and women who have been at war and who feel that sense of justification. And I was very interesting. I was at a screening, and a Vietnam vet came up to me looking very agitated, and after he waved around to the end of the screening, and at the end of the screening he came up and he pulled out of his pocket this box, and he handed it to me and said, I want you to have this. And when I opened it up, it was his service medal. And I said, I can't accept that. And he was like, no, I want you to have it. And I said, I can't accept it. Really? And he said, no, please. And he said, I want you to have it because I want to thank you for telling our story. And I think other people have felt that way. And because I think what the film does, and this idea of naming it after Restrepo, is what our narrative is about. Because in fact, the physical narrative, or the overt narrative, is very simple. It's just like, we go in the valley, you spend a year, you come out. But Sebastian and I both very interested in narrative, and the weight of the film really is in the emotional narrative. And that's, this idea, that they named this place Restrepo. And interesting enough, as a side note, I was with the commander who was the guy in charge of pulling out of the Korengal the other year. And he said to me, he said, I never allowed my men to name places of land after their fallen friends. He said, precisely because they become so attached to that land. And thinking about him talking about an emotional terrain, I mean, that's what our film is about. Our film is about the emotional terrain of war. And so we just wanted to make the most immersive and visceral war film we could. And that's why we didn't talk to policymakers or to the generals, because the soldiers didn't have access to them. And that's why we didn't go home to see them with their parents afterwards, because they don't do that in mid-deployment. Essentially they're there, and we're going to take you there on a 90-minute deployment and take you into that emotional terrain. You can't read in the New York Times, or you can't see on a PBS frontline piece. That's where we take you.
Talking about the Vietnam vet,